Welcome back to the Turn on the Music podcast. My name is Kyle. We have part 2 of the Jacob Collier extravaganza. Is that a good word?
It works.
I actually just got a text from Nick. And the text was, "You monster," and a screenshot of our latest episode. So Nick is excited to know that we're doing part 2 of Jacob Collier. We got CJ here. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
That's
slightly
great.
more comfortable this week than last week with the setup. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it was actually really good. So, despite all of the mishaps during the actual episode, most of which I cut out for the audio version, but it's in the video version. So, if you want to see all the nonsense that went on, there was a huge audio issue on the video side of things. That even figuring it out, fixing it, I was done 45 minutes earlier than I was than a normal podcast.
Interesting.
So it really did save a lot of time.
Which side? Audio on which side?
On everything. So basically what it did was it doubled audio from all of us talking because I had Zoom being routed back into my Windows machine on my Mac side. So I had Zoom on the PC, Zoom on the Mac, all being routed into the video, and it was an easy fix. I deleted the audio, brought in your raw channel, brought in my raw channel, and the computer audio, and it was fixed. And I went, okay, cool. I fixed it in 5 minutes. So,
well, at least it wasn't a difficult fix.
Yeah,
it's an annoying fix.
It's an annoying fix, but like now that I've got this figured out, I shouldn't have to do that again, and we should be good to go from here on out, and saving me a tremendous amount of time. So, that's good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. It's we're recording a day earlier than normal, so it's Tuesday.
Yep.
And I feel like tomorrow's Friday for this week, as I was saying earlier, because it's just been, it's not such, I feel like it's going to be this way for the next few weeks for me.
Gotcha.
So,
is it just the end of the school year type stuff?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a lot of just last minute things that got to be done. Getting everybody situated for the end of the year, and then starting the fiscal year of July 1st, and it's just all that stuff, which is typical for around this time. So just for some reason, this one feels a little different, and I don't know why.
Got it.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
But we have a 3D printer at work in front of me now, so I have a tendency to set something up at like the beginning of the day, and hopefully it prints by the end of the day.
Cool. I got lots of 3D printers, so.
Well, this is the first one we've got, and I have mine here that I have not set up yet. And I've had it for a couple of months. So I want to get it set up.
It's the new barbecue is what it is.
It's the new barbecue. So I want to get it set up now and have a little fun with that. But it's very interesting. There's you could either just do it and and just get files and just print, and I'm sure you've learned this, or you could like make so many changes to the settings, and that to me was crazy. I didn't expect that.
Have you found Thingiverse yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't share that with school districts though.
Oh, okay.
Because there's items on there that I really can't, like they have, like mock guns and stuff like that. Which is fine. I don't, it's fine, but it's just, I can't share that with districts. But I pulled a couple things off of there that I like. So, but it's cool because but there's a lot of settings, but the one that we got actually has, you can get certified in it, the printer. So I was like, maybe I'll get, and they give you 3 certifications, so I don't have to pay for it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So just a lot of that.
Nice.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Doing okay. Got the top down of the Jeep for the first time this year, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to do this weekend driving around top down.
It's not stuck in the garage door, right?
No, it's not. Nope. Not stuck in the garage door. But yeah. So, and I think I'm going to put it down tomorrow, because tomorrow and Thursday, tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow and Thursday are supposed to be decent days, but then rain again on Friday. So
you could, you park it in the garage.
I do, but I had the actual, so taking the top down takes like a minute and a half, but putting it back up is like a 10-minute job. So it's like, I try to wait for like a long stretch of time so I don't have to do it. Once we get the summer,
like, when you take it down, do you park it in the garage with the top off?
No. Well, yeah, yes, I do.
Yes.
If I'm leaving, but when I put it back up, I have to pull it out and then
Right.
put it back up.
Right.
I tried doing it the other way. That's how I ripped the top off.
Yeah. Right.
So,
So when you
yeah.
park it at work, can you put it
I'm in a
under?
parking garage, so I have a little bit of
So you
cover
don't
and I
have to
can
worry
pull.
about it if it
Right.
rains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. So yeah. What you listening to? Audiobooks. Next.
Well, wait.
Oh.
Yes, I am listening to audiobooks. So never mind. No. I actually put on some Jacob Collier today.
Okay.
And Hannah Wickland. And then I was listening to and I listened to Jacob Collier on the over the weekend. I was putting together my son's basketball net. So when I was putting it together, he was playing 80s music. And then the next day, when I was kind of filling up some of the sand and getting it situated, I was playing Jacob Collier.
Nice.
So it was cool. Like I took an opportunity to listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the weather's getting warmer now. So driving home, I'll probably listen to more music than the audiobook.
Got it.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Audiobooks. No, I've been getting on a Tower of Power kick again. So
it's the change in the season.
It's the change in the season. This is what happens every year. It's usually the Soul Vaccination Tour Live, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. The 40th anniversary, which is another great one. Yeah, that's what I've been listening to. Corey Wong as well, and then still the Jesse Volume 4, like once a day. So.
Yeah, no, it's that's the other thing is it's the change of the season. So like it's time for that, change of music or whatnot.
So shall we get into part 2?
Part 2.
Okay.
Jacob Collier, part 2.
So we did we covered his first album last week, which was In My Room. And just to give you a few more snippets of that, this is called Woke Up Today. This is the opening track on the album.
Woke up today, my mind a whirl from head to toe with endless feeling. Try to explain just what I see. You say to me I must be dreaming. You called my name the way I wished you would in my imagination. Now every single thing around me filling me with this sensation. In my searching around, I've seen so many faces. Now I found the one I needed, and the sun is rising. I woke up today like I wanted.
So yeah, that's the opening track, and very similar to Hiromi. Like the opening tracks are usually there to just kind of grab you, and he does a really good job of laying out, the whole feel of the album. And then the next one I want to play is actually another cover, which I didn't realize, but it's a cover of a Beach Boys tune.
There's a world where I can go to tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I knock out all my worries and my fears. In my room.
So it's In My Room, arranged by Jacob Collier, originally a Beach Boys tune. So
yes,
yeah. So then
you don't listen to the Beach Boys.
I don't really. I mean, when I was younger, I listened to a lot of Beach Boys, but it was just like the greatest hits type stuff. It wasn't really.
Yeah. They're one of the groups that I'll put on a few albums during the springtime.
I probably should do that.
Pet Sounds is one of the best albums.
Yes.
Where is? But like all their other stuff is really good, and I like Brian Wilson's Smile that was done like early 2000s.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. What was I gonna do? Beach Boys. Tomorrow.
Beach Boys.
Gonna be on the playlist for tomorrow at work.
Nice.
So we're gonna move along to his first really, really big project, which is the Jesse series. So it's a 4-volume series, and this came out in 2016.
Sure. No, I think that's what I was curious.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I thought I had the years here, and apparently I don't. So, he won some Grammys for this one. And
nope, I'm sorry, December 7th, 2018.
Okay, 18.
Okay,
that's close. So he won some Grammys for this one, for his arrangement of Moon River. No, sorry, that's Jesse Volume 2. All Night Long is the one he won the Grammy for, which is fantastic. We'll get to that in a second. As I mentioned last week, the Jesse series is supposed to mimic parts of the day, and the first volume is Daybreak. So, the interesting thing, and we'll get to this more when we get into the Twitch live stream of this. So if you're liking this stuff, make sure you come to the Twitch live stream. The opening of this album is like almost done in reverse at the end of his last album, Jesse Volume 4, which is just so cool how he did it. But this is one of the tracks. So when I was out doing my audiophile shopping and looking for speakers and stuff, this first track is one that I use as kind of a test for speakers, because it has so much of what I look for in music. It's got choral stuff. It's got, classical. It's got jazz. It's got funk and soul. It's got a little bit of everything. This first volume has the Metropole Orchestra, which we also heard when we did the Corey Wong stuff. This is the first time I had heard the Metropole Orchestra, and this is called Overture.
In my world, a box of stars. Are you listening?
So it goes on and then leads into the next track of the album. Excuse me. But one of the things that people kind of compare him to, or one of the composers they compare him to, and especially in this particular piece, is Stravinsky. There's a bit of Stravinsky in there.
Oh, there totally is. What is it? Rite of Spring?
Yep.
There totally is something there.
Absolutely.
You can't say it's not. Look, I put the light back on so you can see my
thanks,
glorious bearded ugly face. But yes, no, I would definitely say he's got influence by him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep. And this album is different for a lot of reasons from the very first album, in that there's a lot of additional people. So it's the full Metropole Orchestra. Voces 8 is on here, and Take 6 is on here, and just an incredible.
Brilliant.
Yeah. They're just phenomenal, and everything they do is just so good on this album. And there's a lot of really great stuff. But I want to do a couple more tunes off this one. They're both covers. The next one is a cover of a Police tune. Is it the Police? I think it's the Police.
What's the name of the song?
Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. That's the Police, right?
Yeah, I think it's Police.
Yeah. Really cool arrangement of that.
Every time that I come near her, I just lose my nerve as I've done from the start. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turn me on. Even though my life before was tragic, now you know my life for her goes on.
And that was Take 6 singing along with him during the chorus. Just, it's such a, this album is so good. If you like orchestral stuff, what he pulls off is just brilliant. It's just so good.
He composes everything himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't.
I think this one he got help with the orchestration, but yes, he composes everything himself.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that if he had some help with the orchestration.
No. But on his newest album, he did all the orchestrating. So
makes sense. Like kind of like learn it as you're doing it.
Yeah. And like you said last week, nobody knows what they're doing, so just kind of go out and do it and figure it out.
Right.
Right.
Hey, so it's really funny. His voice completely throws me off.
Does it?
Well, because he's British, right? And his singing voice does not sound like his speaking voice.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
No.
And that's what is really interesting to me.
Yes. Yeah. And he really, and if you get into like the really nerdy logic sessions, the logic breakdowns, like he talks about his voice and how he changes like vowel shapes and changes like the resonance and why he does it. Like he gets that deep into these breakdowns of his pieces.
Which makes sense. But even when he's just singing, you can tell like his voice just doesn't, I don't equate it to who he is. But there's some singers that are out there that when you hear them and then you see them, you're like, oh,
yeah,
did not expect that.
Yep.
Or when you see them and then they go sing, you're like, oh, nice. Nice. I like it.
Yep. So the next one is another cover of a Lionel Richie tune. This is the one he won a Grammy for. This is All Night Long. I'm going to put the YouTube version, the YouTube video, because the YouTube video is amazing. And then I'm also going to put the full logic breakdown where he goes through every little thing, every little bit of it, every little thing he does.
Is that a random segue that just happened?
You know what? I've been toying with doing that one and it finally just fell out of my mouth. So,
it just fell out of my mouth. Hashtag it fell out of my mouth.
Yeah, so this is every little thing she does is magic. There are so many little like cameos. Like Quincy Jones is on this, and Steve Vai's in it. Just little like bits and pieces. It's so well done. And I got to find the little shout out he did to the Jackson 5, but we'll we'll do a little bit of All Night Long.
The time has come to raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on. Everybody sing and everybody does. Lose yourself in wild romance. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing, we're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on, let's sing along, all night long.
And I don't know the bass's name in Take Six, but he is ridiculous.
Oh, he's amazing. I forget his name too. But Take Six is amazing.
Yeah, they are. They're so just a little kind of aside. You'll hear bits and pieces of the aliens of Oakwood University in this arrangement. The guys from Take Six are from the aliens of Oakwood University. So, wow, I can't speak at all. There's one little section. Let me see if I can find it quickly. That kind of features them.
People dancing, feel it in your heart forever. Sing along, all night long, Lord. Once you get started, you can sit down. Come join the fun, it's a merry-go-round. Everyone's dancing their troubles away.
And right there in the video, Steve Vai's holding up chords of like the sheets of the actual chords that they're singing. So you can see all the chords change. It's so cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, and then let's get to the Jackson 5 shout out. Let's see if I can find that quick. Before that. Okay. So they do this little breakdown thing with a little piano solo, and then you'll hear this one little section it's a little callback to the Jackson 5. Right here. And during that section when they're doing ABC, they're going through the circle of fifths like chords. So it's like there's just so many little things that he throws in there that is just so cool.
Is he playing the piano?
He is playing the piano, yeah. And on the video you can watch him play it. There's a little bit of alteration. Like what he does, he actually he plays it in one key but pitches it up a full octave. So there's a little bit of magic trickery in there, but not, he's playing the actual part.
Right.
So that is Jesse Volume 1. There's so much great stuff on that. I can't, it's such a great album.
And you own that? You own all them in vinyl?
No, I only own Jesse Volume 4, but I will own all of them in vinyl.
I just purchased, because it's limited edition, the Volume 1, because it's a light blue transparent color.
Oh, is it?
Off his site.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go on to Jesse Volume 2 before
You're
I go
like, no more records. I can't do it.
a freaking record.
What'd you say?
I said before I go out and buy a freaking record while we're recording a podcast. So this is Jesse Volume 2. This came out in 2019. This is the second of the albums, and this is kind of like, I don't know, it's like midday, noon-ish. It's kind of a relaxing kind of, I get kind of like a summer day vibe from this one.
Okay.
And this first song really kind of sums it up. This is called Sky Above.
Sky above, what are you dreaming of? Seems like you're all alone. Do you feel free? I can see more than is clear to me. So come on and open me. Let me feel free. So open up your care and leave it out wide. Every now and then, every now and then.
So it's a very different feeling album. It's much more relaxed, kind of chill out on a sunny day kind of thing. And
Right.
in fact, they do. I forgot he did this one on this album too. This is a cover of a Beatles tune. So that was Jacob Collier and Becca Stevens was the other voice that you heard. So this has got Dodie on it, and this is one song by one of my favorite groups of all time.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright.
Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright.
And the music video to that's very cool. It's definitely worth checking out as well. All of his stuff is worth checking out, I think.
Yeah.
You know. And then we get to Moon River. So Moon River is what he won a Grammy for the arrangement of Moon River. And this is one we talked a little bit about last week. This is the one where he modulates into G half sharp major and all sorts of crazy nonsense that goes on. But it
G half sharp major.
yes. So if you don't know what that's all about, check out last week's episode because we talk about it. And there will be in the description, in fact, it was there last week as well, but the video breaking down this Logic session, this recording session, and he goes into the G half sharp major thing in that. So this opens up with a 144 voice choir. He basically emailed a bunch of his music friends and said, okay, pick a note in the B flat major scale and send it to me. And they did. And that is the opening to Moon River. So it's got people like Tori Kelly, Quincy Jones, Chris Martin, Charlie Puth, Hans Zimmer's on here. Like, I mean, and everyone sings a different note. It's so cool how he did this. And then he goes right into Moon River. So here's the opening to Moon River. So we talked a little bit about how massive his recording like things are.
Right.
An estimate, I forget the exact number. There's about 5,000 tracks of him singing, just him. 5,000 like individual parts in this.
5,000 tracks.
Not tracks, but like individual.
Oh, individual parts.
What does Logic call them?
Regions.
Regions. That's it. So 5,000 regions.
So my
just
question,
Jacob.
So my question is, because I'm sure the program Logic that he's using, and I'm not putting the program down, I'm sure it would happen to any program, gets so congested with the tracks. Does he have to bounce down and then bring that track back in?
He will do separate sessions and then import sessions in to like the full session sometimes.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So he'll do like a section of the piece, record that as an actual section, then mix it, and then bring the mixed version in.
Okay.
But there's about 5,000 regions of him singing in this.
That's crazy.
And it gets crazy massive towards the end.
Right. It does. I remember.
So we'll fast forward just a little bit, and when you if you listen to the whole Jesse series, you'll notice that there are motifs that go through all. There's little doom 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 little things that are in every single album, and there are elements like in every song that he sticks in. That's just how he fits them in. I don't know, but he does. So we'll go a little bit further in this Moon River arrangement, so you can hear the final modulation and how massive this gets towards the end. Okay, so this is about where he starts to make that modulation. So we'll just cut it in right here.
There's such a lot of words to sing.
with the exception of the very beginning part of that 144 voice choir, he sings every other note minus the very high note at the very, very end. He actually called up his sister, was like, I can't sing this note. Can you sing it for me quick? She recorded on his phone and sent it, and then that was the ending note.
But there's one note that's held for quite some time. I'm sure he loops it.
Yes, he does.
He's got it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it sits up. He has that sit there for a while.
Yeah, he does.
With all the changes that are going on.
Yep. And he does a lot of like doubling too. So so the way you traditionally record a guitar to make it sound bigger is you record it like on the left-hand side, then you record on the right-hand side. So you're playing the same thing twice essentially, so it sounds like you're playing only one part, but it comes out of both speakers. He does a lot of that and triples and quadruples and builds essentially a choir of himself. And he's smart enough to know that as he's doing that, he can't sing it exactly the way he did, even though he could. So he makes subtle modifications so it sounds like different people singing, even though it's just him. Otherwise, it would just get phased out and it wouldn't sound. So it's just like having the thought to think about that is just like.
So just from a different standpoint, couldn't he record it once, duplicate the track, and pan left, pan right?
You can, but it sometimes will phase out.
Right.
And
I understand that. But
so
I'm sure there's a way to fix it.
Probably, but he wants it to sound like multiple people are singing, even though it's just him.
No, but I'm just saying, like, in the sense of not going to the extreme that he does.
Yes,
you could do that. I understand why, and it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
But I would wonder how long it takes for him to do one song to that extent.
Right.
Like, does he
I don't
sleep?
know.
I mean, I've seen pictures of him with his hair. He may not sleep.
Yeah. He's crazy. So, all right. Now we move on to Jesse Volume 3, which this one. Ow! Sorry, Lewis just stepped on my foot.
Ow, Lewis.
So this is a very different album. I remember listening to the first 3 tracks. And I think this is probably, we joke around about Nick not liking Jacob Collier, and I think this is probably the album that caused it. Because I remember when I listened to the first 3 tracks of this, and of course I'm going to play those first 3 tracks.
Right.
But I remember I got to the end of the 3rd track and I went, I'm exhausted. Like, it's just so much. But he's got Jesse Reyes, T-Pain on the first track, Mahalia, Ty Dolla $ign, Tori Kelly's in here. I mean, Daniel Caesar, just Kimbra, so many people. And it's a very, very different kind of more hip hop, kind of R&B funk kind of. I love the album, but so this is how it opens and it goes in. So the first song is called Clarity, and I'm going to let it go right into Count the People because I think it's really well done. This was
nominated for Album of the Year.
Yes, it was. So here we go.
Humanize, enterprise. Galvanize, stabilize, revolutionize, polarize, empathize. Everything is alright. Stop right, moonlight. Now I'm gonna make it right.
Speaking up there, get you on the way, gonna freak out, sit what I like, give me some of that. Luminosity, reciprocity, living like a honeybee, never sting that. Typically, animosity is never gonna set you free when you like that. My reality is like an apple tree, got a fruit truck, guarantee that, but I'm never gonna cut that generosity from the sack when it's real talk, gonna give back. Wiggle.
Come up to the club, get your spirit on loud. Queen said the king don't deserve her crown. You sanctify, don't justify. Fire up another shot, gonna hit the ground. Music's in my blood, so the bullet don't count. When the touch the sky, but when they go to party, we all down.
Catalyze, syphilize, alchemize, gotta recognize, utilize. Mobilize, civilize, I'm optimize, fossilize, equalize. Everything is fine, plain sight, black and white, now I'm singing in the night. Speaking out there, better beware, gotta stand up, gotta make it right. I'm a stick of that reciprocity, have a cup of tea, live in love and quarantine, never see ya.
So I can kind of see how, you know, that's a little much. You know, if you've never heard, try to introduce someone to someone, like that's. Well,
it's impressive though.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's like just what he does, how he handles it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just it's smart.
Yep. Yep. And we'll do one more off. This is called In My Bones. Get it.
There's a funky feeling in my bones, in my bones, in my bones. I got that funky feeling. I don't wanna feel it on my own, what I do. There's a constant tapping in my toes, in my toes, in my toes. I get this tapping feeling. Got to tell you something, I don't know what I do. If there's a thing you wanna get right, then now's the time to get that funky feeling right. If there's a thing you wanna get right, then get the boogie in your bones all through the night. Play it, boy.
There's a pressing question on your lips, on your hips, on your lips. You got some kind of question, like you got something to say. It's a question I could answer with some.
I mean, it's so different than anything he's ever done up to this point. I mean, just crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Is he a lyricist too?
Yeah.
So those are his words written that are written?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So.
He's got too much going on in his head.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you watch him, I mean, he's got too much energy. He's just.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure. But that's crazy.
There's a lot going on. And then after this album, he came out with something completely different.
I don't know, for something completely different.
Yeah. So this was recorded during I think it's during the Jesse Volume 3 tour. But he did piano ballads at these, venues and just recorded a different song basically every night and, kind of came up with this little compilation. So I'll play a couple of these. First one, a James Taylor tune called Carolina on My Mind.
In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? I'm going to Carolina, yeah, in my mind. La, 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 la. Karen, she's a silver sun, You best walk towards her while she's shining. Watch her watch the morning come. Hey, now a little tear is falling down. You know I'm crying.
And I mean, there's just so much range in terms of the styles that he does.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about it. It's just, you know, because I have a hard time, you know, sticking with just one thing, and that's one of the reasons that I listen to that one album so much is like it covers so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
he dabbles in everything.
Yeah. I mean, if you take the Jesse volumes, you know, individually, 1, 2, and 3 are very different, but 4 is like a combination of all four of all 3 of them together.
Right.
It's just really, really cool. Then he does this great Queen song, "Somebody to Love."
Each morning I get up and die. Can't barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry. Lord, what you been doing to me? I spent all my days to believe in you, but I just can't get no relief. No. Somebody to love. I work hard.
And what I love about it is that even though these are covers, he does them justice and he makes them his own. It's not just a, you know, a carbon copy. It's his own.
Do you know that he's going to be in
Cincinnati?
He's going to be in Cincinnati
June?
and Cleveland?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of going?
I've thought about it.
He's got nothing near New York. He's got Washington D.C. Have you gone to his site?
Not recently, no.
The tour site is pretty cool. Like when you click on one of the cities, there's a globe in the background and it moves to that pin.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So whoever designed the site did a fantastic job.
Nice.
But yeah, he's going to be in. He's the closest he'll be to me is DC.
Okay.
But I was looking to see because I may go to Texas in August. I was looking to see when he'll be in Texas, but that's not lining up.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I may have to go overseas and go see him at like, you know, Finland.
Yeah. All right, so I'll do one more off of this album. John Lennon's "Let It Be." It's quite a long piano introduction. I hear a lot of Elton John in that.
Yeah, no, I mean, but still, it's impressive how his playing.
Yeah.
This is how crazy. In August, he'll be 30 years old.
I know.
He's so young.
I know he is, and his knowledge of
in a good way. Like, I don't mean that.
Yeah. I mean, his knowledge of just like all music is just so tremendous.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse, Volume 4. Easily at the top of my list of like greatest albums. Right now, anyway. There's a lot of them up there, but it's just so good. So the first track is called 100,000 Voices, and I mentioned this. There are. So what he do is while he was on tour, he recorded the audience. He does this thing where he plays with the audience and makes them sing chords, kind of like Bobby McFerrin used to do back in the day. And the beginning of this song features, I think they're from Australia. I think it was like a Brisbane show. And he makes them do the THX like opening sound thing. I mean, to get this to do with an audience that never rehearsed before, like just really, really cool. So just check this out. I should probably unmute it. I forgot to do that part. Been doing good so far.
It's all right. It's an unmute. Nothing bad.
Took a walk somewhere through the fog to the roaring sea. I could almost see you there, standing right in front of me, and I know what it feels like to be somebody else.
So that's how the album opens, and it just goes all over the place, but in a good way. In a good way. I wasn't going to put this next song on here, but I was watching. He put the Logic session for this one up recently, and I put it on, and I didn't notice like the smallest little detail of this song. And I'll play the next track, and then we'll talk a little bit about this tiny little detail. It happens in the first few seconds, so here we go. I need to unmute it. Sorry. Did it again. All right, let's try that one more time. All right, so it's very hard to hear, but it sounds like kind of like little at the very, very beginning. It happens in the first 2 seconds. I'll play it one more time. I'll try and boost the sound of it. It's really hard to hear. Did you hear it?
It may be lost through the.
It might be lost. So, he had a thought. What if I put a croc in the recording? He's obsessed with Crocs, the shoes, the
right.
Crocs.
Yeah, he wears. Yeah.
So he wears them a lot when he's not barefoot. They took there's a plugin for Logic and for other recording DAWs called Isotope. And what you can do in Isotope is you can draw like frequency structures.
Right.
They drew a croc using the frequency drawing tool. And that is the sound that you hear at the very beginning. It is super hard to hear because it's all in these weird frequencies. But the song is very, very cool. This is called Well. It's got 4 L's in it. Why does it have 4 L's? I don't know. He probably says it in the breakdown, which I haven't fully watched yet. But it's a very cool song. So a very cool song. There's so many really good songs on this.
It has a very 80s rock feel to it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And again,
I did listen to this one earlier. I did listen to that earlier.
Okay.
That song.
So yeah, this is another one of those albums where he pulls in like all these ridiculous people. He's got Brandy Carlisle, he's got John Legend, Tori Kelly, Charlie Puth, and just like the amount of people on this is just crazy. I think the one thing that I don't like about this album is the song I'm about to play. So he came out with a second version of this one. This is called Summer Rain. The one that's on the album is good, but the version I'm going to play for you, I think, is way better. So this version, they both feature Madison Cunningham and Chris Thiele on it. But I think the playing and the emotion behind this song on this version, which they posted a YouTube video of, is so much better. Not that the one that's on the album is bad, but I just love this version. This is called Summer Rain. Once the YouTube video loads. It's trying. Still trying. Come on, YouTube, you can do it.
Two heartbeats on the floor, candlelight, angels at my door. No silver lining, I don't masquerade inside the flame, but I miss you like summer rain. Shadows on the wall, borderline, I thought they'd never fall. Worlds colliding, I don't catch a wave, my summer rain. I can't breathe without you, I won't walk away, I feel the pain, but I can't bleed without you. Get by without you. Get high, but I miss you like summer rain.
such a beautiful piece.
It is very pretty. You know, it's so funny. I was looking at his website, just, you know, and you can purchase through the store there, and it has, you know, Jesse Falling 4, and it only tells you the track list for the first record.
Really?
Because I was like, you're talking about these songs, I don't see them on here. And then if you go do a search to get the full list, there's 16 total songs, right? But they only show you 7 songs on his website.
Huh. That's really weird.
But it's a two vinyl album, right?
Yep.
And you have all the songs on there.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe it's just very interesting. So I was like, this is very confusing.
So we'll do one more
pretty,
off. Yeah, we'll do one more off this album. This is The Bridge Over Troubled Water, and do I have no? Let me go pull this up really quick. Hang on. I didn't pull this up. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. Yeah.
Are you doing the video? Or are you doing?
I'm gonna do a quick the short of him and Tori Kelly doing the recording. Okay. So, the story behind this song is there was a recording that was put on, I think, Instagram or YouTube, of a singer by the name of Yeba doing the very beginning of Bridge Over Troubled Water, and Jacob took it and did his own little 8-part arrangement of it and just released it, and that was the end of it. And then he decided that he wanted to do the whole thing. He contacted Yeba and was like, "Listen, I want to do the whole thing. I want you to sing the opening again." And she's like, you know, I kind of already did this before. I don't really want to do it again. And he's like, "Cool. Do you mind if I use the recording?" She goes, "Absolutely, go for it." So he did the beginning of her singing with a little bit of background. And then John Legend comes in, does verse 2, and then Tori Kelly does verse 3. And what Jacob did was he wrote the entire arrangement, including the riffs that he wanted Tori Kelly to sing. So then they got into this recording session, and he basically plays her the backing track, and then says, "I want you to sing this," and then sings what he wants her to sing, and then she just does it. And it's just watching her do this. There's a full 8-minute video which I will put in the show notes, but this is just the short that he released about her singing along. Oop. Hang on. How am I going to do this? Well, I wish there was a way to. Why isn't there a way to cycle through shorts? Because it's muted. I don't.
Why does that sound funny?
I know it sounds very funny. We're going to sit here in awkward silence as we wait for this video to play.
As
so
we go through our shorts. So as Kyle gets through the shorts to get to that short.
Yes.
Join us on Sunday after this podcast. Join us on Sunday at 7:30. We're going to be playing this music. Yes. You'll hear more of the song, or the whole song, I should say. Probably not the whole album, I would think, because I think
maybe Jesse Volume 4 will do the whole volume because it's just so good. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
or we'll pick out songs from each individual album that stands out.
Yeah, and we'll likely do this for 2 weeks on Twitch. So,
I'm sorry.
We'll do it for 2 weeks on Twitch because
this will be the second one because this.
Oh, that's right. You've already missed the first one.
You've already missed the first one if you didn't do it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so this will be this Sunday will be the second one because it'll be after this podcast episode. So come check out so you can hear all the songs in their entirety. Well, most of the songs in their entirety at least. Yep.
All right, so here's the short that he released with Tori Kelly.
Like oh, like oh, but then it cuts short. It goes oh,
over troubled water.
Yeah. I will lay me down. That was my run.
I will lay me down.
Yeah.
I will lay me down. This is so crazy. I don't record like this with anyone else. I love it so much. It like makes so much sense though.
Lay
Oh my gosh. Lay me down.
Think blues.
So it's just the way they did it is just so incredible.
And she has an amazing voice.
She really does.
If you've seen the movies Sing and Sing 2,
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the character, but it's the female elephant.
Yep.
She's the voice of the female elephant, and like her voice really shines in those two movies. They did a fantastic job making her voice shine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of Bridge Over Troubled Water.
When you're weary, feeling small, and tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I am by your side when times get tough, and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me
Now I know who John Legend is. Like, I've never really listened to John Legend. The weird thing that I know about John Legend was Jamie Foxx did an impression of John Legend on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Okay.
And every time I hear this particular part, that's what I think of in my head is Jamie Foxx doing John Legend singing the Toys R Us kids song. But this is just a little bit of John Legend singing the next verse.
Down and out when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Yes, when darkness comes. And pain is all like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down.
And I think
He's got a great voice.
he sure does.
He really does. He's got a very soulful.
Yes.
He's a really talented musician.
Yeah, he really is. And I don't think we can. And since we heard just a little bit of Tori doing the runs, that sounds really bad. I should probably rephrase that.
That's why she had shorts on.
So we'll just hear a little bit of the end of this, just so you can hear how those runs fit into the chord structure that he wrote. So this is the end of that tune. Kyle, unmute, Kyle. You can do it. And that leads into my favorite song on the entire album, which is a K-pop tune. But you'll have to wait until we live stream it on Twitch.
So I thought it was very interesting that every time I looked up information on him, they never mentioned his father. They mentioned the mother.
I haven't noticed much information about the father either.
So I just did a little bit of search, and his father is a professor or a teacher and he's a musician as well, from what I understand. But I love the fact that his name is Patrick Moriarty, because his mother and him divorced, and apparently they don't have a good relationship, which is why he doesn't either.
Gotcha.
But Moriarty makes me think of Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty.
Gotcha.
But yeah, apparently they don't really talk about him because they just don't have a good relationship. He's a head teacher at Jacob School. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But interesting.
Yeah. That's Jacob Collier.
There's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
Just everything's
listen.
in the show notes.
Yeah.
Click the link tree for everything else.
Yep.
Join us Sunday so you can listen to these songs in their entirety, because it's totally worth it.
Yep.
And I'm sure if Kyle can, he'll probably play like a video too from YouTube.
Sure will.
That's it.
That is it. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Next week.